This is my second video update for the day on this Wednesday in Nicosia, Cyprus. Let's talk about some news, and this is a follow-up to my morning video. And we had a Security Council meeting in Moscow, and the Kremlin, the Russian administration, they have decided to implement martial law in the four new regions of the Russian Federation: Kherson, Lugansk, Donetsk, and Zaporozhye. And the question that I was kind of posing in my morning video as to what Russia is going to do with regards to Kherson, how strongly are they going to defend Kherson, how much are they going to invest in defending Kherson and repelling what seems to be the imminent, massive Ukraine offensive that's being prepared in Kherson in order to take the region and to take Kherson city. It looks like that question has been answered, and this martial law appears to be the Kremlin's response to questions about their defense of these four regions, and specifically Kherson. It looks like the Kremlin is signaling that they're going to dig into Kherson, they're going to defend the region, they're going to work to repel the Ukraine advance, and then they're going to proceed to the next phase, the next step of this special military operation. That's how I'm reading the martial law. I see it as a signal from the Kremlin that they're getting serious about these four regions, about defending these four regions, and about repelling this Ukrainian offensive that we're hearing so much about and which seems to be coming any day now. So, yeah, that's the big news. Look, these are for the Russians. This is Russian territory now, and if Ukraine decides to attack these areas on the Russian side of things, they consider this an attack on Russian territory. And so you couple the evacuation, which is taking place, of the civilians in order to free up the military so they can do their thing. You add on top of this martial law, which will mean that movement in and out of the regions is going to be severely restricted. It means that the military is going to have more control of these regions. And I think you start to understand that that Russia is going to dig in, and they are going to defend these four regions, but specifically Kherson. These aren't the signs and the signals of a government that is about to give up territory to Ukraine. That's how it looks. And for Russia to do this, I think it means that the military is very confident that they have the capabilities to repel this Ukrainian advance. That's how it looks to me. So I think we now have a little bit more clarity as to what's about to take place in Kherson. Ukraine is going to throw everything they have at Russia and towards this front line, and it looks like the Russians, well, they're going to defend with, I don't want to say everything they have, but they are going to defend this. They are going to defend this. It's not going to be another Kharkov or another Izium or something like that, where they just kind of give up the territory and fall back to a new front line. We are going to see a big battle take place, perhaps the final battle, and that may be what the Russian military is betting on, that they have the capabilities to deliver a final blow to the Ukrainian military. We'll wait and see. We are going to have to wait and give it a couple of days to see how all of this unfolds. but I wanted to get that news out to everybody because this is important stuff. And should we do a clown world? Let's see. I do have a clown world. Pretty interesting clown world to get to. But how about we talk real quick about how Lavrov is signaling that Russian diplomacy is now going to leave many of the countries of the West. In other words, the foreign ministry is going to start to downsize its presence in many of the countries of the collective West because, well, the conditions are just too hard and on the people there, and there's really not much left to do. You know, they're not wanted. Russia's presence is not wanted in these countries, and so Russia is going to focus on building diplomacy in countries where it feels it can make a difference. Lavrov said that people work in conditions that can hardly be called human. He referred to constant problems, constant threats. He added that there was no point to maintain the same level of diplomatic presence. There's no work there ever since Europe decided to close itself off from us. Countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, on the contrary, need additional attention. Lavrov continued, promising that those countries ready to work on equal terms would be rewarded with promising joint projects. The world is definitely splitting in a big way, in a very big way. Once Russia starts to cut off diplomatic ties with the countries of the collective West has already decided that they want to cut off diplomatic ties with Russia. Russian diplomats who are stationed in certain countries of the collective West, for example, in the Baltic countries, or in countries like Canada, from what I understand, and other nations, the diplomats are harassed. The consulates and the embassies are spray painted and they're vandalized. So I think Lavrov is saying, you know what? You guys don't want us here. You're kicking out diplomats constantly. You're threatening our citizens, our nationals. So we might as well just kind of keep a skeleton crew at these embassies, a very small presence at these consulates and embassies, and focus our manpower in regions and countries that want us there. Regions and countries where we have a future. So I think this is big news. This is very big news. We are definitely seeing a split and divided world, no doubt about that. So let's do a clown world, and this clown world has to do with Ojo, Boris Johnson again. He's made another clown world. Let me pull this up here. Well, he's kind of made a clown world. Tories want Boris Johnson back, according to a poll. Former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has now emerged as the Tories' most popular potential replacement for the current head of the government Liz Truss. A new YouGov poll has shown. The survey, which was conducted on October 17th to 18th, revealed that 32% of respondents would like Johnson to return as Prime Minister, despite a series of scandals and cabinet resignations that precipitated his eventual departure. Those who voted for Truss to take over are particularly keen on a Boris Johnson return if she left. 44% put him top of their list of potential successors. The pollsters added, Rishi Sunak, who served in Johnson's cabinet as Chancellor, significantly lags his former boss in popularity. Only 23% of the 530 Tory respondents voted for him. Defense Secretary Ben Wallace came in third with 10%. Oh, what a mess. What a freaking mess. Get rid of Johnson, bring in Truss, get rid of Truss. Maybe you bring in Sunak. Nah. Let's not bring in Sunak. Let's bring back Boris Johnson. And what do people expect? That Boris Johnson is going to do any better the second time around than he did the first time around? I don't know, but, you know, we are seeing a Tory party that is completely confused and torn and just upside down. This is a lost party, and this is going to be a lost government very soon. And it doesn't get much better because Keir Starmer is up next. He's next in line. So you go from bad to worse. Anyway, that's the video, guys. TheDuran.locals.com. Look for us on Rockfin. Take care.